Burnout. Talk about a modern plague. Burnout doesn't always look the same. It can happen to influencers, marketers, teachers, doctors, and just about anyone. If you work in an intense job, you're at a real risk for burnout. So how can you tell if it's happening before it's too late, and how can you prevent it altogether? In this channel, we try to help you make sense of your workplace by sharing not only some of the lessons that we've learned at our company, but what we've learned by working with tons of organizations around the world. And today we're talking about burnout.
Burnout is a state of mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion, which is caused usually by experiencing long-lasting stress.
Have you ever suffered from burnout?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Burnout is absolutely real.
In my previous job, I was working nonstop, didn't even take any holidays.
You definitely feel like a loss of your own personality, dimming down of your personality.
Anxiety for a few months. It was just getting worse, and I didn't know exactly what it was. I was just feeling this heaviness inside me.
How can you tell that you are nearing burnout?
As an individual, it's very hard to recognize because we are in, again, a fast-paced, high-stress environment all the time.
I was definitely called out on it by my husband, for instance, and he was just like, you need to slow down. But I was still like operating on fumes, and I didn't even realize it because I was in that moment, like so deep within it.
The common signs of burnout are usually feeling tired and drained most of the time, and sometimes feeling overwhelmed, helpless, and even trapped. As the stress continues, one begins to lose interest, the motivation falls, and one can become even resentful and cynical. And with all that, obviously, productivity decreases, and there are also negative long-term consequences for our mental and physical well-being.
I feel like most of my friends, I would say like 95%, if you want like a percentage, feel like that. Even though we love our job, like I love what I do.
Even with a job that you're passionate with, I can speak from my experience at Monday, there are days where you're just tired.
Even in the military, they have cycles where they cycle you off because they know that just going for too long, it's gonna burn you out. So in a job setting, it's definitely the same thing.
Here are some numbers from a survey Indeed conducted, and although they're staggering, they're not all that surprising. More than half of the respondents reported feeling burned out, and more than 2/3 believe that the feeling has gotten worse over the course of the pandemic.
I think what I was in real need for was human interaction.
The pandemic took away a lot of the social interactions that we as humans crave. Like for me, like walking and talking to my teammate after I had a really annoying meeting and just like having those 2 minutes to be like, oh my gosh, this is what I have to go through. That's missing, and you're just going from one Zoom meeting to the next Zoom meeting to the third Zoom meeting, and by the time you finish your day, I feel exhausted.
You know, throughout the pandemic, I was like, well, I'm not gonna take off vacation because what am I gonna do? Sit at, look at the wall? Like I have nothing better to do, so I might as well just continue working. I didn't take a vacation for 2 years.
Historically, you would go to work, close your laptop, and walk out the door, take a bus, take a bicycle, get home. And you would have that period of sort of coming down from work and getting ready for your personal life. That removal of the break or the split or the transition between the two. So opening your office at home, opening the door and walking straight into your family. Sometimes I personally have felt that, for example, putting my daughter to bed feels like a task that I just need to check off the list.
I used to dream about working from home, and now I appreciate the simple pleasure of having a desk that's not in your living room. So what can be done to prevent burnout?
We teach managers to strive and try to enhance their team members' feeling of belongingness, their sense of meaning in what they do, and to help them gain more self-control over the important aspects of their job. If you enjoy what you do, if you feel you have impact and influence and that you are relevant, and also you feel that you are connected to your team, a strong sense of belongingness to your team and to the company as a whole, you are at a lesser risk for developing burnout.
I guess I was supposed to go through that process of personal growth where it's part of your responsibility to come and say,
It is not a sign of weakness. It's something that you need to be cognizant of.
it's too much for me to do alone.
Like you still have
25, 30 years more to go on the work floor, you can't feel burned out now. What are you going to do?
If you feel like you're burning out, it's time to get a healthier way to work. Being committed to the way you work doesn't have to mean putting yourself last. We hope watching this video has helped you not only become aware of some of these patterns, but hopefully get ahead of them before they even start. There's no better time than now, so go make yourself a cup of tea, take a short walk, and you'll thank us later.